You're listening to Speaking Stellar Girl with Teri an interview series that inspires women to live their most stellar life. Teri is the co-founder of the Stellar Girl movement, and she is sitting down with women all over the world to hear about the key moments in their lives and how they live boldly, compassionately, and ultimately became a stellar girl.
Welcome to Speaking Stellar Girl. I'm your host, Teri, and I'm thrilled today to have Lindsay Myers joining me. Lindsay is a travel and lifestyle expert. Get Lost with Lindsay was created to motivate and inspire everyone to really experience all things life has to offer without being rich or famous. Love that. Lindsay is a weekly travel, fashion, and lifestyle contributor on Access Hollywood and appears regularly on networks such as CBS, NBC, and Bravo TV, just to name a few. I can't wait to learn more about her journey into the travel and lifestyle space. Welcome, Lindsay, to Speaking Stellar Girl.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to do this.
This is awesome. So tell me all about how Get Lost with Lindsay started, because my introduction was brief and I want our listeners to hear more about how you came up with this incredible concept to travel on a budget.
Yes, I mean, I think, you have a love for travel. We share that. And I think that, I traveled out of school. I did not grow up traveling, though. And I think that's very common for a lot of people out there. Traveling, people think of being very expensive. I think it's, people don't have time off. There's a lot of things that we, that kind of get in our way. And so I saved up every dime I had from waitressing in college. I asked for a plane ticket for my graduation present from everyone I knew. And I backpacked around the world with the best friend. And wow. I'm not joking. We lived off about $25 a day. We're splitting rooms, so we got to split hostels, which you can get very inexpensively. We're eating local food, from vendors, pad thai in Thailand. We're immersing ourselves in there's such an authentic experience, and it just changed my life. Like, it changed who I was. I grew. It changed the path of where I was going next, and I just couldn't get enough of it. And obviously, realistically, we can't just keep traveling for the rest of our life, but I wanted to take that and really inspire and motivate others to have adventures of their own and create that path for themselves, whatever that means. And so Get Lost with Lindsay was, it took a while to actually get it off the ground. Nothing happens overnight, as you know.
Yes.
But the process is a lot of the growing experience with it. And, I went from, backpacking, and then I worked for an amazing fashion stylist, Brad Goreski, in LA, and we were traveling with fashion brands and stuff. And so we were traveling at a very different level. And I saw that there just needs to be a middle ground there. You have this kind of fancy luxury travel, and then I don't backpack anymore. I totally get that we kind of grow out of that time period.
Yes.
So I wanted to find that middle ground. And so that's basically how it started. I wanted to find how I could inspire and realistically tell people how to have these experiences in life and adventures, because I think that it's the greatest education in the whole world.
Yes.
And I want it to be accessible. And so that's kind of how it all began.
And the thing is that nowadays people are getting back into traveling, which is fantastic. I always say at Stellar Girl, some of us can only travel within our own state, within our own backyard, but always have an adventure to look forward to. Like, even if it's a concert, 2 hours away with your friends, or, a worldwide trip to Europe. And, you were in Asia, so you mentioned Thailand. I love the water markets out there. And aren't they fantastic? And people stay, in Bangkok, and they experience that. But what about the 2-hour drive to the rice fields and going into the authentic water markets where all the locals get in the boats and shop?
I mean, and that's the biggest secret, I think, with affordable travel, is the cities are going to be the most expensive.
Yeah.
So if you get out of the city, and also too, I always compare it to, look, I lived in New York City for almost 10 years. I adore New York City. I moved there because it felt like traveling to me. You're turning every corner. It feels like a different world. But New York doesn't portray all of America, right? So that's the same sort of thing when you travel anywhere. Paris is gorgeous, but it's not all of France. You go to southern France, you feel like you're transported into another world.
Oh, like Nice or Saint-Tropez. And
Oh my gosh.
Saint
Yes.
Tropez, you know?
Yes.
Yes. And you can stay on those beach hotels, like the little boutique ones. You don't have
Yes.
to stay at the larger Four Seasons Ritz St. Regis. You can stay at these phenomenal hotels. And it's just, and they're off the beaten track, and people forget to investigate those because everyone goes to Expedia Orbits, and they forget to really dive in and read the blogs, because I find that people who read those travel blogs from all of these amazing travel influencers like yourself can stay at these affordable, really cute, darling places.
Oh my gosh. And it's like, I mean, we are so spoiled. I mean, I think about when I started traveling, the options were very small with where, we could say it was kind of like a hostel or it was like a hotel. And we couldn't quite afford, we couldn't afford the hotel. I actually love staying at the hostels because we met so many amazing people. But now we have variations of everything. I mean, from, Airbnb, VRBO, home away. I mean, we have, obviously all of the bed and breakfasts. We have guest houses, I mean, it's so endless. I mean, and also too, there's so many platforms, but I even like people don't realize that even on booking.com, you can find people's homes, guest houses,
Yes.
bed and breakfasts. You can take that filter, just immediately get rid of the luxury hotels if you want to, and find the, more inexpensive. And my husband and I always try to get a kitchen when we travel because we love to cook.
Okay.
And that is part of the experience for us, is going to the local markets, like you were saying, all the floating markets in Thailand, getting the local produce. And because we're not, I think people eating out so expensive for families, especially a family of four. I mean, that's just breakfast, lunch, and dinner, eating out. That's your budget right there.
I know. Our whole six of us is just, yep. Done.
I mean, that's a lot of mouths to feed. And so, if you go as a family, I think it's part of the experience to the local market, work together to create a meal. You're still using their produce. You're still getting an authentic Italian meal or wherever you are, but you're cooking yourself, and it's memories. And so, it helps with your budget, but I think it creates this kind of adventure and experience that a lot of people don't get when they just go to a restaurant and check that off.
Yeah, absolutely. So you must be a genius at packing. I don't know, because I'm not a great packer. I will admit it is not a good thing. I will take, 2 70-pound suitcases, or get 2 at 50 just so I can get them on for free. Because I can't pack. Everyone's like, oh, I just take a carry-on for a week in Europe. And I'm just like, good for you. I don't know what it is. So what are your tips on packing? I need to know.
I'm that weird person that can live on a carry-on for about a month. But so
are you really?
Oh yeah. Besides our tripods and equipment, which takes up most of the stuff, but so my trick is I look at one thing, and if that one thing can't be worn 4 different ways, it's not going in my suitcase. Meaning, everything can be interchanged. People are constantly like, you're always in a new outfit. I'm like, look at it again. It's not. I have switched things around. I have, this shirt, for instance, has a matching skirt. So I could take that, looks like a full dress, right? Take it off. I'm now wearing cut off jean shorts with it. It's a whole different, what I mean? It's just transforming and thinking outside the box. It's also I know everyone loves a million shoes, but why do you need a million shoes? Pick one shoe that is either neutral or black, and can go with everything. I know a fashion statement is fun with, accessories a lot of times, but they take up so much room.
And they're heavy now, the belts and the jewelry now, the chunky jewelry is also heavy. Yes, but the shoe thing, and that is so true, because you end up, when you travel, at least I do, I love to walk everywhere because I feel like that's the best way to experience a city. I don't want to get in a tour bus or a double-decker bus, but there's absolutely no judgment there. If you'd love to sit and get a tour, fantastic. But I love to walk everywhere. So my shoes have to be comfortable. I need a sneaker that I could also work out in. And then sneakers now can be worn with dresses and skirts. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
That's the thing is, we have cute sneakers, we have athletic sneakers, but find one that can do it all. One that goes across the board, and it's and that's how, me too. We are we were in San Francisco this weekend, and I had been in so long. And I think we walked 6 hours straight. my legs were going to fall off because I live in LA now. No one walks anywhere, but I loved it. It's like, I get so excited to walk everywhere because it's how I explore. I mean, that's why I named the company Get Lost in the first place, because in New York City, I never let myself walk down the same street twice.
Really?
So when I went to work, when I went to a store, everything, it's the only way that I could really experience it all and really feel comfortable. But I got lost like every day. But that was the point. I always found my way, but that was the adventure for me, was getting lost, because then I found my true path. I found the places I love, my neighborhood, and that's really the best way ever to see a city, I think. And you are right, walking sometimes is challenging for a lot of people. So create your own with that, pedicabs are fun. Like, you can take all different types of modes of transportation that you're still immersed. Bicycles. I mean,
those motor scooters everywhere.
Scooters. I mean, again, we are spoiled. Like, Amsterdam is amazing by bicycle. I mean, it's just finding these different ways to look around. I mean, even train rides in Europe are one of my favorite things in the whole world. Like we were talking about,
and Japan as well.
Yeah, those are and they're so nice.
Easy, and they're so easy, and no one talks on their phone in Japan. Like, and you get
quiet cars everywhere.
There's silence your phones, earbuds only. I'm like, this is glorious. It's like you actually have a peaceful ride, and it's so easy to find your way in Japan.
And that's why I wish so bad we could have a better train system in America, because I love trains. I think they're gorgeous, and because you're also flying. Yes, it's quicker, all that, but you get to look outside the window and you're passing all these amazing, beautiful towns and experiencing the lands and all of that, and they're inexpensive. So you fly into the major city, then I say, get on that train, head south or north or to every little tiny town around. And I think that's the best way to adventure, and inexpensively. You can do it for sure.
Yes. So tell me about Access Hollywood, how that came about, how they found you, and because you're on there like all the time and it's so fun.
Yes, it is fun because I do all different types of things, which I love. I like to be challenged. I like change. Like, I think that's how we grow. So traveling is my true passion. So I just hit 2 years with Access. So 2 years ago, I was traveling around, and a producer at Access kind of just reached out and was like, I love what you're doing. And to everyone out there, I did not have 1 million followers. It wasn't about that. It was about what she said. It was about my messaging, meaning I stayed authentic. I stayed, I had a lot of tangible takeaway information, because I'm not trying to just take pretty pictures for people. I really have a message that I want to try to convey to everyone. I think
your feed is very relatable, by the way, it's very authentic. And that's probably, why they loved you and reached out to you too, because you are so authentic and real and relatable and so easy to talk to. I mean, oh my gosh, we could, I could talk, we need a part 2, but I mean, but it's just, it's so easy to chat with you, and people see you on TV and they're like, I want to be that. I can do that.
Yeah.
That's exactly what you wanted to do.
Exactly. And and so my first segments with them were all about traveling on a budget, how to make money while you travel. I got married in Ireland for very inexpensive. Like, I literally did it. It was a dream wedding for me and my husband, but we did it our way, and we did it affordably. And I think that is, for some reason, people, it just blows their mind that a wedding and affordable can go in the same sentence.
Right.
So, but I wanted, some people are so weird being like, I don't want to tell people what my dress is or what I paid for it. I'm proud. I got my dress for $25. It was Nicole Miller at a sample sale. But that's the thing, is I want to tell you all my secrets. I'm not trying to hold them for myself or shame. I think it's beautiful.
I do. I love sharing everything. I'm that girl who, like, someone comes up to me and says, where did you get that dress from? I'm like, I'm not sure, but you can check my tag.
I love that. That's the thing, is it's all about wearing it proudly, how you wear it. I was on a show on Bravo, and I constantly was wearing like Target and stuff, and they were like, you're wearing Target. I'm like, absolutely, this is who I am. And I'm proud of it, that it's accessible to everyone. I'm proud of people see me in it, and I'm like, go get that now. It's on sale or whatever, So, the brand it's travel, and it's become a lot of lifestyle through the last year and a half and everything. We've all kind of had to evolve and pivot, and, accessibility and kind of this like motivating to squeeze everything out of life goes beyond travel as well. So that's kind of have opened it up a little bit to incorporate fashion. I've done blind wine tasting with the host. I've done, oh my gosh, I don't even know. I've done everything. Pet fashion shows, we've gotten pets adopted, like just across the board. And which has been great, and
awesome.
A really fun opportunity, and been, it's been exciting.
That is fantastic. So do you collect anything when you travel? So I know you've been to, hundreds of, probably 100 countries. I might be misquoting, but I mean, do you collect anything from these travels other than framing pictures, which I see you do?
Oh yeah.
I love that, because we're always like scrolling on our phones to show people our pictures. And I love that you print your photos. Anyways, back to collecting. So,
and I also do the one behind me from Bali, the one that's like this right there.
Yeah, the landscape. Beautiful.
We do a lot of, so it's a canvas. And so we usually always get, I have two in front of me that are from South America, but we get these canvases that they're painted on the streets. So they're amazing. And these guys paint them. And so they're just these raw, unfinished. I love it, because if you look up close, you can see the frailness of the canvas. Yes. We got some in Cuba. So we always try to get those up, because we also too, look, I pack very light. So in my head, I'm like, how am I gonna, you roll it right up? I mean, I could throw that in my toiletry bag. Like, it rolls up so light, but I love these. They're bright, colorful. They just really represent a place. I absolutely, I also take matches, which is strange.
No.
And coasters. When we use them, or when I light a candle, it brings back memories. That's why I like that part.
Yes. Yeah, I know. I do coasters as well. I love bringing back like a little memento, and I love to frame one picture of at least one country that I've been in. And we kind of have like a travel like area wall, and just in like different frames. Yeah, no, I see yours in the background, and I love that, because so few people print their images anymore. And I love when you come into someone's home and you feel like, oh my gosh, you get to stand there. If you've never met them before, I mean, I've got 4 kids, so I constantly have different parents in and out of the house, or hosting, sporting, parties and stuff. And they're like, oh my gosh, like, look at, tell me about this. And it kind of brings you back. And so like, you're not going to stand there and go, I've been here. That's fantastic. Let's talk. Oh, sorry, go ahead, please.
Oh no, I was going to say, because I think that's what traveling is about, though. It's about the experiences and memories, and I think that, and it's about for yourself and who you're with. Mm-hmm. So it's like, I always remind people, all of our world is so much is online now, but make sure you take the time for yourself, not just about everyone else seeing your adventures. Make sure you're actually living in the moments.
Enjoying them, or take pictures and then like take an hour once a day to post, versus constantly, stopping and posting and editing and adding like GIFs, mentions, like, it's nice to just go on a trip, but then still of course do that, but not, not throughout your whole entire time.
Absolutely.
I would love to talk about your new series, because it's very, very exciting. Lindsay on Location. Mm-hmm. Okay. So please tell me everything.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm so excited. It's a brand new, basically. We have only had one that's aired. We just filmed one last week. So Lindsay on Location basically is for access. And so it's basically like, as we're kind of all getting back into traveling, I want to kind of showcase locations that, you're familiar with, but also a different way to kind of see a location. So, we filmed in Sonoma, California last week, and people automatically think of Napa, Sonoma, wine country. Well, of course, they have amazing wine, but I really wanted to show that it's more than that. Every location's more than just one thing. Every location's more than just the things we Google about them. So I wanted to showcase things that you have to, experience, and it's a family-friendly place. So, I mean, I milked a cow. I rode horses through the redwoods. I kayaked down Russian River. We were in inner tubes, like, and and we showcase all these ways that you can also do it affordably, which is always what I want to kind of tie things back to. Mm-hmm. So it's exciting, but it's just kind of creative, out of the box ways to approach a location. So how you can think about it a little bit differently, and how you can squeeze everything out of it and just make it amazing for the whole family.
That is awesome. So it's not just for couples, the whole family.
Yes. There's something for everyone. I mean, and that's the thing is too, is like we went to a winery, but it was family owned. They are adorable. They are family friendly and oriented. They do this great thing where the couple can be wine tasting in this barn with a chandelier. It's gorgeous.
Okay.
And their wine's affordable. It's about $20, but they give the kids a backpack and it's a scavenger hunt, and they just go, and the kids can roam across all of the vineyard. They have binoculars. They have these little cute things where they try to find different things in nature. So I just love those kind of things. It's experience for everyone. Everyone's happy, drinking wine, doing a scavenger hunt.
That is awesome. Congratulations. That's super exciting. Very, very exciting. So I won't ask you where your favorite country or your favorite place to travel to is, because there's way too many to list. But I will ask you where you would go again.
Oh my goodness.
Something new. Where would you go again?
Where I would go again is probably, tomorrow is my 2-year anniversary for my wedding.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And we did get married in Ireland. And I think that if I could just close my eyes right now and go there again, I would, because it's like one of my places I tell everyone to go to, because I think it gets kind of forgotten.
Lost.
I think that so many people go do the Europe trip, and they don't
forget
take
about
extra little flight. It's just it's like a 20-minute flight.
I love Dublin. I loved it.
Dublin's amazing. It's like,
I love the fields and the golf courses and, and everywhere there was like live music everywhere.
Oh, and I'm huge into music. I mean, there's live music on the streets and every bar. I mean, the people are lovely. We rented a car and we just drove the entire thing. I mean, it's so easy to navigate. It's so affordable, and it's just warm and welcoming, especially for those who haven't traveled maybe that much. I always say that's like the first trip I would take, because everyone speaks English. Okay. They're warm and welcoming. And it's just a way, I think people get intimidated by going international. So I think it's 5 hours from New York City. I mean, it's basically going from coast to coast in America. So that's like my first one I tell people when maybe their first international trip is definitely check out Ireland.
That's awesome. That is super awesome. So, okay. So we've kind of merged into our little overtime here, and I want to keep talking to you. Maybe we can do a live soon and share a little bit more about your adventures. And, after you have a couple of episodes taped, but, we talk about Stellar Girl all the time where, how to champion women, how to support each other, how to encourage each other and celebrate each other. Yes, we're empowered. We have a long way to go still, but we need to do, we have this amazing brand, Stellar Girl, we're a community where we support, encourage people to travel, to, take that next step, maybe out of their fashion box, to try something new, to, maybe try yoga, Pilates, if they work out, try walking, to incorporate the stellar mindset, to live out your best life every day. And to be extraordinary while doing it. You're a phenomenal example of that. And I absolutely love that. But I would love to hear your thoughts on how we can better champion women.
Well, thank you so much for all that. And I first want to say, thank you for doing what you do, because I think it's so important. I think that we need each other. We need the platforms, we need the brands, but we also need each other as a community. I think that, we're so much stronger when we work together, right? I mean, that seems like common sense, but it actually needs to be displayed and encouraged, because I think that, especially with so much online, I think that, we need the platforms that showcase that it's okay to make mistakes and fall down, just, get back up, and I'm here to help you do so. Or, how to build a brand, and how to have someone help you do that. I think that, we need the resources like Stellar Girl, because it's just, I get asked all the time, how do you start? Like, how do you get into this? And I'm like, there's no formula, there's no playbook. Yeah. So I think that each other is what the formula and playbook is. It's like I can kind of tell you my story and kind of help, but it's every person's journey is different. But as long as we have the support, I think that just gets us so much further, and it's so important to have, because it's, it can feel very overwhelming, and it can feel very isolating at times. So just knowing that Stellar Girl and brands and companies exist is just what this world needs. So thank you for doing what you do.
Oh, well, thank you for joining me. Thank you for sharing all your tips and travel advice. I absolutely love it. I cannot wait to tune in to more of Lindsay on Location. For everyone listening, please follow Get Lost with Lindsay. And she also is online. She has a website with the same name. And where you can, find her blogs and hear about Cabo and everywhere else that you've been to. And so thank you so much for speaking Stellar Girl with all of us today. I really appreciate your time, and we'll see you on the other side.
Thanks so much for having me. That was so fun.
Yes. Okay. Chat soon.
Thanks for tuning in to today's episode. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit that bell icon to be notified of new episodes. To learn more about the Stellar Girl movement, please visit us at stellargirl.com.